Hi everyone, I am going to react to a new anime, Prince of Stride, episode 1. And this was an anime that won the poll to replace Jujutsu Kaisen on Sundays. So yeah, I don't remember what the anime was about. I don't know if it's about running or if it's about cycling. I think it's gonna be between those two. I know it's a sports anime for sure, but I just don't know exactly what it's about. So, with this being the first anime of this the first episode of this new anime, the full length of this reaction is gonna be available for free. The link is gonna be in the description box and in the comment section. You just click on it, check it out, and if you like it, consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/Philemini, where you can find all my early access to all the animes that I'm reacting to and all the full lengths of all the animes that I've already reacted to also there as well. So let's start this new anime, and here we go. Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review. New anime. There's always excitement in the air when I start a new anime because I never know what I'm gonna get. So yeah. So it's running. I'm already liking it because they look cute. Were they about to close the gate? Or didn't I see that? Was the bag outside or inside? Damn. That is not safe at all. That is not safe at all. Really good. I'm already liking this, but nothing has happened yet. Boys point to the end of summer. Alternate. Is it like a relay kind of thing? But in relay, don't they usually pass the baton? What am I doing? Go on. I didn't see that properly. Oh, star. Mm. Kageyama and Hinata, I don't know. I can't help it. It's on your mark, the beginning of destiny. Okay. First of all, I love this first episode. Like, I really loved it. I love the characters. I love how funny the show is. And it just it reminded me of Run with the Wind and Haikyuu at the same time. Just because like I saw similarities between Kageyama and Hinata from Haikyuu and what was his name? Fujiwara and Yagami in this episode. This anime like it would really reminded me of that, and then the running like reminded me of Kazeka Tsuyoku Fuiteiru. Yeah, I think that's the name in Japanese. Run with the Wind. And I had to go back to look at it again because I really didn't know what stride meant. It's like they kept saying the stride club, the stride club. I'm like, what is that? And then they're like, they said something about relaying, and I'm like, but then they're relaying is sort of like touching hand. So it's like, it's not really the relay that you see people do like all the time, you know, with the baton and everything. But in this particular case, it's like tap your hand. So I'm like, I really didn't know what the stride thing meant. So I was glad that they did the 2-on-2 in this episode, and they said that in order to be like a club of stride club or whatever, you needed 5 players and 1 relationer. I'm like, what the heck is a relationer? And oh god, you had first day of school, you had what was the girl's name? Nana Sakura. You had her and Riki Yagami and Fujiwara Takeru. Oh, also Takeru too. I'm like Kakeru is like the sort of like the second the main. Like there are a bunch of many characters in One with the Wind, but like the guy that got roped into joining the running club or whatever, his name is Kakeru. So I'm like Takeru, you know. But yeah, so these 3 joined the school and they wanted to join the strike club, and Ricky has this amazing legs and he's like, he loves sports and he wants to like try out all the different kinds of sports. And when he goes here, he's like so amazing that the people there wanna have him on their team. And then when he goes here, it's like the same thing. But then when they got introduced in class, you saw he was so intense, man. Fujiwara Takeru, he was so intense. First of all, the way he presented himself was like so short compared to what Ricky did. And clearly he knew Sakurai from before. Maybe they went to the same school and they both maybe were the strike club there, and that's why when they both showed up here, he knew that she also was gonna be joining the strike club. I don't know. And then they went to the club and there's only like 3 people there. And then there's like the club was, it was a strike club and it was a what's it called? What kind of game was it? Some kind of other club. I forgot what it was. And those club, they needed to have like those 3 members like functioning like, I don't know, they needed to have both of those clubs open or they will be like shut down or something. And then Fujiwara comes in and he's like, he wants to join the club and you know there's not enough members, so it's like him and Sakurai were gonna go and look for another one. So you already know who the other one was gonna be. The interesting is that when they first approached Ricky, when they first approached him, he was like, okay, I'm gonna join. But then they got in front of the strike club and then he noticed that it was the strike club and he wanted to like back out. But Takeru would not let him. Like he was holding him hostage there. He's like, you're not going anywhere. And it wasn't until they mentioned his name, Yagami, that the leader of the club was like, the leader and then the other one that they call the trickster, Uzumi. And they were like, is Yagami? So I'm like, okay, is he related to the Yagami that was in the video that Sakurai saw and that's what pushed her to come to Honen? Honen Academy. Is he related to that person and that's why like they got so excited? And is that why Ricky didn't want to join the club? Because maybe he felt that people will be comparing him. I feel like they might have been brothers. That's what I'm thinking. That this Yagami Riki is the brother, maybe the little brother of the old Yagami that was in the video, and that's why he didn't want to join. But they were like, okay, we're gonna do it 2-on-2. And as they were announcing everything, there was these girls that were talking about, going to see the Stride match or whatever. And then after they left, there was this guy with long pink hair, like in the background, like the video. The screen sort of like paused on him for a second. So I'm like, okay, was he part of those two that were in the beginning, like that were in the video? And then after the match ended, like after the episode ended, I went back to the beginning because they showed those two, the video that Sakura was watching, the video that she was watching, and they showed the two, and then they started talking about Yagami, how fast Yagami was going. So I'm like, okay, so he was the black haired dude. So I'm like, okay, so he must be the brother of Riki. And then the other one, it looked like he had pink hair. So I'm like, okay, is he the same person that was in the background with the girls? I'm like, is he the same person? Because they said that those two left the Strike Club, they're not in the Strike Club anymore. And then we started mentioning the Strike Club and everything. And then they zoomed in on the guy with the pink hair a little bit. So I'm like, is he the same person? And then I didn't totally understand what the Strike thing was. So when they were doing like the 2-on-2, and then they're like, okay, at first after they sort of like forced Riki to join the club, and then Sakura was like, okay, we need a relationer. We need to find a relationer. And then one of them said that she could be the relationer. Oh, it was Takeru that said that she was gonna be the relationer, and she's like, can a girl be one? And they're like, yeah. Like some of the best teams have girls that are relationers. I'm like, what the heck does a relationer do? And it wasn't until I saw them like actually doing the Strike thing that I'm like, okay. So it seems like the Strike thing is sort of like a parkour kind of thing. Well, I'm not really a parkour. Like you can do parkour and everything, but it's mostly like running, and then okay, you start off with this. In this case, there is 2-on-2. So you had Takeru start right alongside what's his name, Uzumi, and then you had the leader and Riki waiting at a point down the path, down the race track, whatever. And then the relationer is supposed to, I guess, make it easy on those two to like tap hands and and do that. But then you have to do it like when they enter this is the takeover zone, I guess. That's where there's like a certain amount of distance or something. There's like the zone in, right? If I understand correctly, there's like the end of the zone, and then you have to tap the other person's. You have to really tap whatever the other person's hand before you get to the zone end. That's what I got from it. So the relationer is supposed to help ease that process, I'm guessing. So yeah, and those two almost didn't make it because when Sakura was telling them to like get ready, was telling Riki to get ready, set or something or other, and then like go. He was running so fast that he sort of like went past the takeover zone. Like when there is like he had to like redouble. I don't know. He sort of like overtook them, so he had to like he lost time, I guess, trying to run back and trying to catch up to Takeru, but they were able to do it before the zone end. So yeah, and then when they both got to the finish line, the leader and Riki got to the finish line, and then I'm like, who exactly won? But it turns out that nobody won. It was a tie. And then at the end of it, Ricky was breathing so hard, but then the leaders were barely breathing hard. So I guess that comes with experience and training, and Ricky doesn't really have that, so he probably used a lot of stamina and all that trying to, go through this course. And then the thing is, before they started the race, they were like, if the club wins, then those two are gonna join the strike club. But then I'm like, okay, so what if they lose? Do they not join? But then it's like a tie, so it's not like the strike club won. But either way, I'm sure they're both joining they're all joining the strike club. So yeah, I love this episode. Loved it. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction. My screen was it's like paused. I paused on the when Ricky sort of like jumped over the fence and like rolled over there, like got knocked into a tree. That sound effect, oh my gosh, I felt it. I'm like, ugh. Like he must have broken some bones, but guess not. Anime. Thanks for watching. If you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see the next episode right now, you can do so by checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/me, and you can also see the full link for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.